Hello you guys and welcome back to another episode of Fortnite Fusion here on the WRESTLEDUDE channel. Here today we are going to be transforming WWE superstar and current Smackdown General Manager Paige into the Fortnite skin known as Ravage. Many people just call this the female version of Raven. I think this is a really cool outfit, and as soon as I saw it I thought, that's Paige. It's gotta be Paige. So here I'm just going through some gloves. I'm starting to think of what gloves I want to use. I started out with the hands just because I felt like they might be the hardest part to do. Looking through the gloves, there were a lot of good choices. I was looking for something that would fit Paige, and I thought, well, why not just go with Paige's regular gloves anyways? So I ended up using those, and then I moved on to the arm, where I found this bit, which actually looks fairly similar to Ravage's actual arms. If you look up a picture of Ravage, then this is pretty much the exact same arm. So here, the next part that we're gonna do, I kind of messed up on the coloring here, so I'll go back and change that here in a second, as you'll see. But we're just going to change up the colors here, and for this part, you want to make sure that you have the right coloring. It'll make it look a heck of a lot better, and as you can see here, I'm starting to go back, I'm starting to change the colors here. Make that a light gray, and then you want to do the same thing for the third color. Second color can be brown, and you want to change the materials for the first and the third, and you want to make it vinyl. I was thinking about making it metallic, but that stood out way too much. So you want to make it as vinyl. And there you go, you can see it glowing there. So vinyl. This may take you a couple tries to do and to get it right. Also, there are a couple things in this tutorial that may not look exactly like Ravage, but that's because of the limitations of the WWE 2K19 or 2K18 creation suite. So I did the best I could creating it, and also here I'm just changing some colors around. That way the brown bands around the arm are more vibrant. And now here we're going back to the gloves. I'm just fixing the coloring here. That way it's gray, and I'm also going to be changing the materials. That way it blends in better. There we go. But I'll also be adding a twist to this one. I'll make it more like something Paige would wear, something that you would see Paige in. So here we're going to do the headwear. And for the headwear, I was looking for something that would work as like a knight's helmet, but shows the face. So I thought immediately of that boxing helmet, and then I saw this, I guess you would call it Magneto Helmet, and I thought this worked really well. It may look a little weird, but that's because unlike the Ravage skin, the helmet can't go around the head of Paige. It kind of just bulges out. So in a way it does look a heck of a lot like the Ravage skin, except it may be a little bit more bulky. Also, you have to take into account her hair is there, so they can't really compress the hair. But here we go. I'm just going to change the coloring a little bit, make it a little bit lighter. There we go. And then next up we're going to do the face cover. This is going to cover up the bottom part of the face. You want to pick this face cover. There we go. And you want to make it this gray color. There we are. And you want to go ahead and change the material for this as well. Make it metallic. This is supposed to cover up the whole face. And then for this is something, since we couldn't do the feathers, they're supposed to be purple feathers, I decided to do something that maybe Paige would have on her head. I was kind of looking through a whole bunch of them, and then I saw the spikes, I guess you would call them the Darth Maul spikes, and I thought these would actually work pretty well for Paige, considering like she's all about wearing spikes on her ring gear and stuff like that, and her jackets, so I thought that this would be a very good inclusion for the helmet. Since we didn't have any feathers we could use, spikes would work very well. Also, I think it just looks really, really cool. And next up, we're going to be doing the knee pads and the legs. These are these sort of like metallic, I guess you would call them knight armor legs. So here you're just going to take these kick pads, the ones that go all the way up to the knees, and you want to change the coloring around a little bit, make it this light gray. There we go. And that ought to do it. And you want to go ahead and change the material for this. I didn't change the material. I left it as is because I thought it had a good metallic look to it. But if you feel more comfortable changing the material for it, go right ahead. And for here, we're going to do the trunks. You want to take this first generic trunk and you want to make it this purple color. There we go, and you just want to do this for both sides, and we're going to do the belts. Now, every Fortnite character seems to have these, like, belts around their, like, legs. I guess it would be, I guess if they got shot in the leg, it would be to, like, put pressure on it, like, tie off the wound, or maybe it's so they can, like, attach little, what would you call it, pockets to the sides, that way they can carry more bullets for their guns. So here what I like to do for the belts is just take, like, a triangle and one of these long lines and stretch them around the leg. Except when I was trying to do it with this smaller one, it wouldn't exactly stretch that much. So as you're going to see here in a little bit, I switched from the long, what would you call it, the long triangle to the more bulky one, as you're going to see right here. And I do this twice. You can do it more. I know there's 4 of them. I only did it twice, that way for time constraints. I want to keep this below, I'd say, like 12 minutes. So I only did 2. So here we go. It may take a little bit to get it into position. Sometimes the logo might, like, morph down. And since it doesn't connect all the way, the best way that I've found to hide this is actually to spin the logo all the way around, so that empty space is in, like, the inner thigh area. That way it doesn't really show that much. And then you want to make it that same brown color that you did on the arm, on her little arm gauntlet. And then I used the emboss feature. I still don't know how to pronounce that. I promised that I was going to look up how to pronounce it, and I never did. But here we're going to do it again, this time to this leg, and we're going to make it a little bit lower than the other one. That way it doesn't look like it's a belt that goes all the way across the legs. It just looks like 2 separate belts, or 2 separate straps that are going around each leg. And also something different that I'm going to be doing at the end of this video, instead of just doing a final screenshot of the character, I'm actually going to put the character in action in the Superstar's entrance, and that's how we'll showcase the final product. And as you can see here, once again, I'm going to the inner thigh to put that blank space. There we go, and there are the legs. Gonna emboss it again. There we go. And now we're going to move on to the upper parts of the body here. There we go. Just going to add this top to it. You want to look for something that compresses to the body. That way it doesn't really, like, go over the clothing. I was looking for something that was, like, full body, but I couldn't really find anything that you would, like, tuck into her trunks to make it look flat. So I ended up choosing this. And it'll make sense here in a second, because we're going to add a second top to this. So you want to change the color so it's a darker purple. There we go. And then for your second top, this will be a pretty easy thing to do here. For your second top, you want to use this Undertaker, or Retro Undertaker top here. There we go. And for colors, you want to go to the 3rd color, and you want to make this brown. This is going to be those belts that go around. And then for the final part, like I said, I wanted to add some Paige modifications, customizations to this attire. So I'm going to add the Paige logo to the helmet, and then this will be the final product for this Ravage Paige skin. And then we'll see it in action. I really hope that they add in some features to where you could, like, I don't know, put in contacts, because I would really like to have that eye glowing effect. I always thought that was really cool about the Raven skin and the Ravage skin. But either way, I still think this looks really good. Now let's take a look at the final product. There we are. There is Ravage Paige on her way to the ring. If you guys enjoy this episode of Fortnite Fusion, let me know in the comment section below. Are there any other Fortnite skins that you would love to see me do on this channel in this series? Also, let me know in the comment section below. I have been Jacob from the WRESTLEDUDE channel. You can follow me on all social media using the links in the description. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and leave a thumbs up on the video. It does help. and I will see you guys next time.